The relationship between coffee, cortisol, diabetes, and vitamin B1, thiamine, involves multiple interconnected physiological processes. Here's a detailed exploration of how these elements interact: coffee and cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone produced by the adrenal glands in response to stress and low blood glucose levels. It helps increase blood sugar through gluconeogenesis and has a wide range of effects on the body. Coffee contains caffeine, which can stimulate the adrenal glands to produce more cortisol. This can lead to 1. Increased blood sugar. Cortisol raises blood glucose levels by stimulating the liver to produce glucose and by inhibiting insulin's effect on glucose uptake in the cells. 2. Enhanced alertness and energy. While cortisol can increase alertness and energy levels, excessive stimulation can lead to negative effects like anxiety and disrupted sleep patterns. Cortisol and diabetes. Diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes, is characterized by insulin resistance and impaired glucose regulation. Cortisol can impact diabetes in several ways. 1. Insulin resistance. Chronic high levels of cortisol can lead to insulin resistance, where the body's cells become less responsive to insulin. This can exacerbate blood sugar management problems in individuals with diabetes. 2. Blood sugar fluctuations. Elevated cortisol levels can cause significant fluctuations in blood sugar, making it harder for diabetics to maintain stable blood glucose levels. Coffee and diabetes. The relationship between coffee and diabetes is complex. 1. Short-term effects. In the short term, coffee can increase blood sugar levels due to the cortisol response, which can be problematic for people with diabetes. 2. Blood sugar fluctuations. Elevated cortisol levels can cause significant fluctuations in blood sugar, making it harder for diabetics to maintain stable blood glucose levels. Coffee and diabetes. The relationship between coffee and diabetes is complex. 1. Short-term effects. In the short term, coffee can increase blood sugar levels due to the cortisol response, which can be problematic for people with diabetes. 2. Long-term effects. Long-term coffee consumption has been associated with a reduced risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This is thought to be due to various bioactive compounds in coffee, such as chlorogenic acids, which improve insulin sensitivity and have antioxidant properties, vitamin B1, thiamine, and diabetes. Vitamin B1, or thiamine, is crucial for carbohydrate metabolism and proper functioning of the nervous system. It plays a significant role in glucose metabolism. 1. Role in metabolism. Thiamine is a cofactor for several enzymes involved in the Krebs cycle and glucose metabolism, helping convert glucose into energy. 2. Deficiency in diabetes. People with diabetes often have lower levels of thiamine. This deficiency can contribute to complications such as neuropathy and cardiovascular issues because of impaired glucose metabolism and increased oxidative stress. Coffee and vitamin B1. Coffee consumption can influence vitamin B1 levels. 1. Diuretic effect. Coffee has a diuretic effect, which can lead to increased excretion of water-soluble vitamins like thiamine. This means that excessive coffee consumption could potentially reduce thiamine levels in the body. 2. Impact on absorption. The caffeine in coffee may interfere with the absorption of certain nutrients, including thiamine. Interconnected relationships. Combining these interactions gives us the following picture. 1. Coffee consumption leads to increased cortisol levels and possibly reduced thiamine levels due to its diuretic effect. 2. Cortisol. Elevated cortisol can increase blood sugar levels and contribute to insulin resistance, impacting diabetes management. 3. Diabetes. People with diabetes often have lower thiamine levels, and increased cortisol can exacerbate blood sugar control issues. 4. Vitamin B1. Adequate thiamine is crucial for proper glucose metabolism. Deficiency can worsen diabetic complications, while its adequate presence supports better metabolic control. Summary: coffee can raise cortisol levels, which may increase blood sugar and potentially interfere with vitamin B1 absorption. Cortisol affects blood sugar regulation and can contribute to insulin resistance, complicating diabetes management. Diabetes is associated with lower vitamin B1 levels, and adequate thiamine is essential for proper glucose metabolism. Vitamin B1 deficiency can worsen diabetic complications, while ensuring sufficient intake can support better metabolic health. Managing these interactions involves balancing coffee consumption, monitoring stress and cortisol levels, and ensuring adequate vitamin B1 intake, particularly for those with diabetes or at risk of developing the condition. Ultimately, the lower your level of vitamin B1, the higher chances of you getting diabetes. Thus, managing your vitamin B1 intake is key to staying healthy and avoiding diabetes.